Hello everyone, I'm Alex Dykes, and today we're inside a 2014 Toyota Highlander XLE, and we're taking a look at the 8-inch Entune audio system. If you want to know more about the 2014 Highlander, just go ahead and follow that link at the bottom of your screen, and you can be taken right over to that video. Now, all Highlanders for 2014 come with a standard touchscreen Entune audio system. If you get the base model, then you get a 6.1-inch LCD screen, and if you get the XLE or above, you get this 8-inch touchscreen with navigation. Let's go over the features one by one, and we'll start on the home screen right here. This is the default screen that you'll get when you turn on the car, of course also when you hit that home button. This is configurable, and we have the two display layout right here. So we have a map on this side. We do have XM traffic or HD traffic, depending on what signal you're getting at the moment. This little icon right there, oops, touched the wrong button there. This little icon right here will show you where you're getting your traffic information from, and it's still downloading it from the HD signal. Over here it has our audio input, Sirius XM. If we click this little gear icon there, we can alter our home screen, and we can choose what we want to have on that home screen. We can have an audio phone layout in a 3-panel configuration, or we can have a 2-panel configuration. You can change what you want there. So we click the OK button and we go home. You'll now see that we have the phone set up right here down below the audio screen. And this really is just speed dial, so you can just press and hold to select and add a contact, then you can direct dial people using that interface right there. In the gear icons where also you'll find various vehicle settings, display settings, driver easy speak setting. This is an interesting feature. It basically is a one-way intercom in the car, so it uses the microphone for the voice recognition as well as the phone system, and then relays that audio back to the rear speakers in the cabin of the Highlander, so that way passengers in that third row can more easily hear the driver. We have a wide variety of other settings and configurations over there. You can also control vehicle settings, you can check our HD data, our traffic. We have various driver settings as well. This allows you to link driver settings like audio presets, button colors, etc. to a paired Bluetooth phone, so every time the phone's in the car, it'll remember you. If we go over to the audio tab, we have our very typical Toyota audio interface. This is one of Toyota's easier to use systems. Click on the audio, it brings you to your current input, and as you can see we have our presets, and the presets are shared between XM as well as AM and FM radio. They're all in the same list. We have a decent number of presets right there. You can also get a channel list. We can do all, or we can do categories, and we can scroll through them in that respect. We don't have any drag type functionality in the system like you'll find in some of the other competitors, but the system is fairly responsive. If we click the source button or we hit the audio button again, we'll be taken to our audio input screen. Here you can see we have our iPhone. These little touch buttons are a little bit finicky sometimes. If you get too close to them with another finger, they'll assume you were trying to touch them. So you can see on our audio input screen we have AM, FM, XM satellite radio. We have a single slot CD player, which you'll find right up here. This is the iPhone interface or USB interface. This is the Bluetooth interface. We have an auxiliary input, and then we have an AV input because our model has the optional rear seat entertainment system. This would not be available if you didn't have that option. Scooting over to the next page, we again have that rear seat entertainment system right there, iHeartRadio and Pandora. Those are apps that operate via your paired smartphone. I have an iPhone 5 paired with the system, but it does work very well with Android phones. Toyota has not commented whether this will work with modern Windows phones or not. Let's take a look at our media interfaces. If we go over to our Bluetooth audio, the system now supports browsing of playlists and artists via the Bluetooth connection. So even though my iPhone is connected via USB, all of this is operating via the Bluetooth connection. So we now have full album art, we have that browsability, and we can also select various Bluetooth devices in the system. Sound button is where you'll find all of your typical sound settings, fairly self-explanatory there. You can also click on that little graphic right there when you're on Bluetooth, and you can see what's in the playlist that you're in right now. If, however, you click on the album art when you're in the USB or iPhone interface like we're in now, then you get a listing of the current album. So these are the only 5 songs that I own that go to this Billy Joel album, as you can see right there. So you have direct access to that. You don't have direct access to the current playlist like you do in that other interface. You have to click on the browse, then you have to click on your playlist, and then you can go from there. Going on to the apps screen, this is where you'll find all the various apps in the system as well as navigation, because navigation is treated as an app in this system. So we have our Eco app, where you can see fuel economy. We have our audio app, basically takes you back to the audio. Phone app, so we can get that right there by that phone button. Vehicle messages, traffic. Again, we have some of the same options that we've seen before, like driver easy speak, etc. We have Other apps like movietickets.com, OpenTable, Bing Search, Save Destinations, etc., those do require that you have the Entune app operating and registered on your phone. These Entune services are now free, so before there was a service charge after the initial 2 or 3 year period, but now all these services are completely free. On this last page we have fuel prices, we have a Facebook interface, Yelp, sports, and stock quotes as well. Going back to that first apps page, however, we'll click onto navigation so we can see this. This is the same navigation software that Toyota and Lexus have been using for a decent amount of time. It's been made snappier by using a flash card for the data source. So right under this little thing right here is where you'll find a small micro SD card, and that's where they store the map information. It makes the interface very snappy compared to previous hard drive or DVD-based versions of this system. You can now see that HD traffic has finally loaded. You can now see the traffic on the roadways. This does offer traffic on city streets, select city streets I might add, at closer detail levels as well. It'll eventually load there, you'll see it in a bit. Destination entry in the system is fairly easy and fairly self-explanatory, and you can do that via full natural voice commands as well. This interface should be very familiar to you if you've used any Toyota or Lexus products in the past. One thing to note is that we don't have any fancy 3D or topographical views like you can get in other systems. We do have this faux 3D view here where it's very flat still. There's no additional topographical information, and we have our typical north up or direction up views. Now the screen is loaded, you can see that we now have traffic information on certain local streets right there. Toyota's new Bluetooth phone interface is very fully featured. It now offers full SMS text messaging integration if your device supports it. Currently, Apple's iDevices do not support that. One nice touch is a nice direct dial pad, which makes it easier to interact with the system. It does offer, of course, full contacts, call history, favorites, etc. in the system. You have a settings page where you can alter your sound settings, message settings, etc. Overall, Toyota's latest Entune system offers snappier responses than Ford's MyTouch, although it doesn't offer the same feature functionality as Ford's MyTouch. The voice commands in this system are very natural. They have improved greatly over previous Toyota products, but they still aren't quite up to the level of Ford's MyTouch system. Versus Chrysler's Uconnect, this is just about as easy to use, but Uconnect does offer a few more features, and it is just a little bit more elegant in terms of layout than the system, especially in the navigation layout. Compared to Honda's system, however, this is light years ahead because, again, the Honda Pilot is not a terribly new vehicle, and so as such you'd expect this one to be a generation ahead of what you'll find in that Honda product. Keep in mind that Honda is redesigning the Pilot very soon, so we do expect a completely new system, most likely based on the new system in the current generation Honda Accord, which I do like a great deal. One of the best features about the system, however, is that this navigation interface is standard on XLE models and above. And Toyota tells us that the XLE is going to account for the bulk of the sales, so the vast majority of Highlander buyers will be getting a navigation system in this product. Really setting the Highlander apart from the competition, however, is the base model, and it gets a 6.1-inch screen, so it's going to be slightly smaller than this, and it's not going to have the navigation software, but other than that, the vast majority of the features are common. So we still get app integration, we still get Entune apps, we still get Entune data services, although they're provided via the app on the phone rather than HD radio. You still get traffic in certain models, that you still get Pandora integration, OpenTable, all those other features that you'll get in this system, except for the navigation you will find in that lower end system standard on every Highlander model. That's very different from the competition, because if you take a look at the Ford Explorer, then you get Sync, but you don't get My Ford Touch. So you get just voice commands for your USB device, but you don't get a nice touchscreen interface. If you take a look at the Honda Pilot, its systems are just old in general. If you take a look at the Nissan Pathfinder, it has a very basic system in the base model. It does get nicer as you go up, but the Highlander really sets itself apart by offering all these features in the base model as well, just except that navigation. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Again, click that banner at the bottom if you want to be taken over to the full review on the 2014 Highlander. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Tell me what you liked and what you didn't like about this video, and we'll see you next week.